So today, with the assistance of my model here, Carlos, we're going to be doing the 14 position shave that I've already gotten Carlos caped and draped and prepared. That I did that off camera, that for obvious reasons that I have to pin it and clip it versus being able to put it over a regular chair and have the customer lay back. Normally what I would do at this point is I would wash my hands for a second time. That I would come over and dry them and then apply some pre-shave. That when I initially apply the pre-shave, that I like to do it one-handed, kind of spread it around, get it over them, and then do a secondary consultation with my fingers, that just to kind of check and make sure that any bumps that I may have missed, and really get familiar with the grain direction of his beard. That in doing this, I found that Carlos has a small mole right here that's skin colored, so that's something that I need to be sure of. That with his extra hair there, I couldn't really see it just looking through it, but I can feel it. So as I'm shaving that area, I need to ensure that I go around it and not over it. That I find that this pre-shave is good for massaging and rubbing in for 30 seconds to a minute. That from there I would go over and grab my first hot towel, check the temperature of it, make sure it's not too hot, unroll it a little, that inform the customer I'm about to apply the hot towel. If it's too warm, I'll put it on slowly and let them know if it's too warm to let me know, and we can air it out some more. Carlos seems to be okay with it. We come down just under his nose. We grab one corner, flip it, next corner, flip it. Getting it down, ensuring full coverage of the beard. Make sure we hold it down and pat it. Give a little bit of pressure. That, and we would wait till the towel feels or starts to cool down. That it doesn't take that long. That when you go from a steam to ambient temperature for it to cool down, that take it off, move it, pull his hair back. From there we walk over to our lather machine. Get just a little bit of hot lather. That and start to apply it. I like to dab it around a little. Come over here with our second hot towel. Again, checking the temperature. that in this area of the arm is the most sensitive for applying it to our customer. That letting him know again that if it's too hot to let me know. Once again, apply it just under his nose, bring it down and back, fold one side up, fold the other side up, give him a little bit of a pat, hold it here. That, and at this point normally that while the customer was laying, I would go over here, grab my razor, that I would open it up, put the blade in, close it back, that ensure that the blade is seated properly, lock the blade in position, and give it a quick sanitize once more before we get going. That from here I would remove the towel on my customer, put it in the soil towel pile, come back over to my hot lather machine. Once again, get some of the hot lather, apply it to my customer. A little more, massage it in. Kind of really working it in. That based on the formula of shaving creams, that the longer you work them in and push them in, the more it raises the hair and makes it softer. So I like to give one last final rub in it before I start shaving. Come over here, wipe my hands off. Make sure they're dry. Normally over the customer I like to keep one leather towel that there just to dry my hands. That along with his towel for wiping off the excess cream. For Mr. Carlos, I will pin this on him also. And at this point, tell my customer that I'm going to turn their head to the left. Get them to fully turn their head to the left. Take my razor, start, get their hair back. That he would have shaving cream all up in this area. So I would take and wipe a spot dry just above where I'm going to go to ensure that I get good contact with the skin and can make a good anchor with my thumb for pulling his skin taut. Start with position 1, which is a freehand. Always leading. Motion like that. Trying to never go more than 3 inches from where you have your anchor with your blade. Wipe the blade clean. Come over here, pulling the skin taut again. with a backhand. Wiping the razor clean again. And your hand if you get a little extra cream on there. That coming underneath the nose area with a free hand. Typically you don't want to go against the grain, you want to shave in this pattern, but Carlos's hair actually grows slightly to the side, so I didn't want to come across first, I want to come with it. Again, wiping the razor of any cream on that side, drying my hand. That from here we will come to fourth position, which is underneath the bone right here, down in a free hand. To that grain change area. Come back to position number 5, which is a reverse free hand up to the grain change. Cleaning the razor and my hand. That here I would normally set the razor down on his chest, then on the clean towel, let him know that I'm turning his head to the right. Turn his head to the right and resume with a backhand across the rest of the mustache area, which this area does grow in the normal vertical direction from the eye to the jaw. So shave out like that. Little check, make sure I got everything there on the first pass. There's no long hairs left. Dry my hand again. Come in over here. This is also a backhand. This is number 7 position. We add a little cream up here and wipe off our anchor point. That from here, leading, stretch, down, come over a little, wipe the cream off, again down. The number 7 position. From there, we switch to free hand in the number 8 position. Apologize everybody that my camera keeps stopping. I'm gonna have to combine 2 videos to make one, so you'll probably see a little bit of a gap or space there. But anyway, so move to the number 9 position, which is a backhand stroke. Down to the grain change section. Wipe the blade. Hand, make sure they're dry. 10, which is a reverse free. Again, wiping the blade dry. That from the customer, you're going to be turning his head back to the straight position. Never with the blade in your hand, open like that, always resting. Come back number 11, which is across the chin. This section of the chin to here. Freehand that you can pull taut that way or this way. Number 12 is a backhand or freehand. I prefer the backhand on this. That reverse free. And then number 14 is also a reverse free that I usually ask the customer to roll their bottom lip up over their lower teeth, kind of go to a flatter area that you can pull on. And at this point, you've completed the regular 1/over shave. First pass. Close the razor, put it back on your station, move the dirty towel from them. Then at this point, I normally grab a cold towel. Putting a hot towel on a freshly shaved face is not a good idea. You already have the skin slightly irritated and blood vessels are pulled closer to the skin. And at this point, you can create bleeding or other issues. So again, just like with the hot towel, bring the towel up over the customer's nose, drape it around. That right corner comes up to cover, left corner comes up to cover, creating the triangle. Then you want to cool down the skin, lessen the irritation. That as you're removing it, the goal is to remove the cream and basically one swipe down. Always throwing your used towels into the soiled towel container. Then at this point, put a little moisturizer onto my client. That usually I will use I will always use a moisturizer based on their skin type. That when I did my initial consultation, whether they're oily, a normal combination kind of, that are dry. That here I like to give them a little face massage while we're doing it. here on my cotton balls that cotton fluff or a small towel. Take and apply an astringent toner to the areas that were just shaved. That always lightly patting. From there, take my towel, give them a little bit of a fan, move some air around to help cool it down. This is really like walking into an air conditioning room after a shave. Take my towel, get it put the right way. Apply a little bit of powder to my towel. Then just lightly apply some powder to remove whatever excess moisture may be there. That brush off my client. That ensure that he does or doesn't want a neck shave to go along with it. If he doesn't, cape him, remove his neckband, that release him from the chair.